Hello, soulmates, and welcome to the Candid Conversations TV show with DocV. I'm Dr. Virginia LeBlanc, the Pivot Maestro, and your heart surgeon for your soul heart. I find and release the root causes of your pain points and guide you to freedom in life and business, helping you face and embrace those fears to love the skin you're in and just be. At Defining Paths International, we're all about lifting you into a possibility mindset to serve, profit, and sustain. And this Candid Conversations TV show is a part of that mission. You are our why, our motivation, and we are here to help you navigate those waters. And I love to bring on our Define Your Path podcast guests to just have real talk, even more so, to let our hair down, to just follow our flow, whatever our soul wants to speak. We want to speak toward your betterment, toward your uplift, and we do all that we do in love with transparency and truth. So we want to rise together. So thank you for joining us on Candid Conversations. Again, we engage in that real talk without exception. We talk about our personal experiences and life, business, our journey, how they intersect. And I'm super excited today for my guest, Jessie Rothman-Church. I want to remind you who she is. And so I'll read a little bit about her bio, but I want you guys to know you never know what you're going to get here. That's why we call it Candid Conversations. But again, it'll all be light, love, and lifting for your soul. So, Jessie, I'm excited to have you back with me. Everybody, let's welcome Jessie Rothman-Church back to the spotlight from Define Your Path.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here.
Yes, yes. I am so excited to have you. I'm excited to pick up where we left off. Audience, I want to remind you to go back and watch that podcast episode. You're going to love it. It was so powerful. Listen to it. Hear all those nuggets, gather all those nuggets in that Jessie was dropping. And be sure also to come back and listen to this so you can connect the dots, right? And you can continue to learn more and plug in with Jessie. So I want to refresh your memory about who she is, what she does. So Jessie, I'm just going to share a little bit about you, and then we'll just jump in where we left off and follow our flow. So Jessie is a certified soul contract reader. She's a shamanic practitioner and energy codes coach who helps women through emotional healing and spiritual awakening to enliven their feminine energy, which is so, so important. We were having a little pre-conversation about that. Deepen self-trust and design futures that feel truly aligned with their soul's mission. So after moving through her own dark night of the soul, and Jessie, I do want to get into that, Jessie created Move Through Everything, a movement-based healing community where women use intuitive movement to process emotions and awaken their inner wisdom. So again, Jessie, let's just pick up where we left off, starting with the question, how have you risen from the ashes? So I don't know if this ties into the dark night of the soul, but let's just jump in there, girl, and follow our flow.
All right. Wasting no time, getting right to the nitty gritty of it.
We can walk into the shallow water.
It's okay. I found myself in a depression, pretty deep, dark depression at around the age of 30-ish. I just had my second child, and I had all the things that I thought I wanted: the house, the husband, the children, and the college degree, the career. I had it all, and I wasn't happy, right? And I know there's so many women out there that feel, some sort of similar story, because so many of us have this deeper knowing that life could be better, that there could be more joy, there could be more ease and flow. And with all of the busyness and responsibilities that we get caught up into when we start, building families, and even if, it's not our own families, if we're just in communities and going to work and all of, we just lose ourselves sometimes.
Yeah.
And the universe has a way of letting us know that we could do better, we could be happier, right?
Yeah.
And so
Or
my
does
kind
it?
of, kick in the head, I think, was the depression.
Mm.
The word depression I've learned is suppressed emotion, really,
Oh,
is
that's
what I've
so
learned
good.
it to be.
Yeah.
So just the holding in of the sadness that it wasn't turning out how I thought it would. It was everything felt like a chore
Mm-hmm.
instead of like something I was inspired to do, even mothering of all
Yeah.
the things.
Yeah.
And so, but I held it in. I put on a happy face. I put on a mask. I
Mm.
learned that from, my upbringing, my mother, don't show
Yeah.
your anger, don't show your sadness, just,
Yeah.
save face, look
Mm-hmm.
good in public, all of that. And so
Mm-hmm.
that's what I did. And the universe was not having it, is not going to allow me to go on like that. And it just, yeah, I think pulls me into this dark night of the soul now that I, looking back on it, that's
Yes.
really what it was. And it was several years, 5, 8 years. I don't even know,
Yeah.
exactly, sometimes more dark than others, but
Mm-hmm.
it's interesting. I just, sometimes in the mornings, I'll just pick up my recorder and I'll play
Mm-hmm.
something that I recorded, a few years ago or something, and just happened to be this morning
Mm-hmm.
that I picked up my recorder and I pressed play on a random track, and
Yeah.
it was me journaling, vocalizing,
Yeah.
journaling, saying exactly this
Wow.
in that moment. Why does it have to be so hard? Why can't I just be happy? I have everything I'm that's here that's supposed to make me happy. What's wrong with me? Why can't
Yeah.
I? And I was crying, and I felt like I was just, if it weren't for my kids, I said, if it weren't for my kids, I might not be here. But it
Wow.
was my children that were giving me that conviction to
Yeah.
figure this out and to
Yeah.
to make it work, because I didn't want to leave my children, and
Yeah.
I didn't want my children to be without a mother. I mean, really, that was the
Yeah.
thing that was keeping me going.
Yeah.
And then I climbed out of it.
Yeah, girl, first of all, God bless, because, and thank you for sharing and being that vulnerable. How many of you right now watching this, drop in comments if you can relate, can you relate to what Jessie is saying and just her feelings, the emotions, the things she was walking through? I mean, that's real, Jessie. I mean, that's real talk. I've experienced it, in so many different ways as well, right? Where it's like, it's like you can't find your willpower,
Right.
to find that strength to climb out, but like there's a life connection, to you, right, to the soul that just helps to bring you out, to get you to, even just that minute bit of motivation to move forward, right, or to hold on,
Mm-hmm.
or,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's like we don't realize so many, and we don't know when it happens in life. I mean, even when we start to seek out the root causes and connections or what have you, I mean, you can't pinpoint that exact moment in time when it happens, right? I mean, there might be a cause and effect relationship somewhere there, but like, when did I start thinking like this, or when did I start feeling like this, or lose my way, or my purpose? And
Mm-hmm.
it's that's real. And so many women, we struggle with this just because of the societal norms, right? And constructs that exist, that quite frankly have been a training ground for for most. And this is how you
Mm-hmm.
should be, this is the way you should think, this is what you should do, and this should make you happy.
Mm-hmm.
You said something key there that I don't think enough of us process, and that is, should be happy, and just happy in general is not the same thing as an inner joy, a soul joy, that
Mm-hmm.
joy that I believe brings you peace,
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
that transcends understanding, right? Because on one hand we have this we're feeling like crap and we don't know why, and or we should be happy. But then on the other hand, and that transcends understanding, to a great deal until we start really trying to delve and look at it. But then on the other side, that's the other side of a joy that until we start, I guess, looking inward, we can't understand either, or we can't find and understanding our place in this big world, you know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like, especially those of us who have, like, I shouldn't compare myself, right? But I do compare
Hmm.
myself, and I
Hmm.
compare myself to my sister. She's only
Hmm.
22 months older than me.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And she took a totally different path. She knew exactly what she wanted to do. She
Yeah.
went for it. She, got the degree, got the job, and has been doing it for 30 years. And she's happy and she's
Yeah.
fine. And she's, she didn't go through a dark night of the soul or yet. I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe it's coming. But,
Well, and
I
that's what I'm
think
about
of,
to say. Yeah. Uh-huh. Go ahead.
I just think about, so, it happens to some of us and it doesn't
Hmm.
happen to others. And so why does it, I always think about that. Like, why me?
Yeah.
Why did it happen to me?
Hmm.
And I feel like um it just took me longer to figure out what my purpose was. I really have
Yes.
the feeling that, like, I didn't connect with that deeper purpose
Hmm.
until later in life. And it took me trying a bunch of different things to realize that that wasn't what I was meant
Yeah.
to be doing
Yeah.
in order to land on the thing that I am meant to be doing.
Yeah, no, that's so good. And yeah, I totally get exactly where you're coming from there. And as you were talking, I just had some thoughts just, in general about people who are those of us who are called to do this higher work, I think, this soul work or this, spiritual work or just, this well, for lack of a better word that I'm not thinking of, who may be called for to like a global movement or a larger movement, right?
Mm-hmm.
Outside ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, I think we have to go through this. This is what I
Right.
have found for myself, and I believe, right? I don't
Mm-hmm.
think anymore. I believe and know that we have to walk through these challenges, these difficulties, so that we can do the work that we're called to do, right? Because I think
Mm-hmm.
what
Mm-hmm.
most people seek out and find is their quote unquote purpose as it's been described in or as it's believed in just society, right? Worldly society.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have this other call, really this kind of otherworldly calling,
Mm-hmm.
it's we have to experience the things we have to literally be tried by the fire, right? This Phoenix rising, literally, and we have to go through this burnout process, rising, burnout, rise, burnout, rise, until
Mm-hmm.
we're absolutely, I think, 100% certain that we are doing what we're supposed to do and walking in our soul's purpose. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Mm-hmm.
Did that land
I
anywhere?
100%. Yeah. I mean, it lands. So one of my teachers, Dr. Sue Morter, talks
Mm,
about energy and the
mm,
energy flow in your body. So from a scientific perspective, what you just said
mhm,
perfectly relates to what she
mm,
talks about, and that you are an energetic being and you have this flow going through your body.
mhm,
And when you have um, suppressed emotion, when you're not dealing with your upset or your dissatisfaction, it
mhm,
creates these blocks in your energy flow.
mhm,
And so the flow has to, like, go around these blocks. And so
mm.
it's not as powerful coming out of your body. And so
Yes,
literally, like, this term alignment, when you're not in
yes.
alignment,
Mhm,
literally your energetic blocks, the things that you suppress, the guilt, the shame,
mm,
the negative self-talk, the
mhm.
anger, the resentment, like all of these heavy emotions are literally not allowing your energy to be in alignment, right?
Yes.
I mean, it's literal, like, it's so clear to me when she talks about it
Yeah.
that way. And also from a spiritual perspective, the thing that started me getting out of my depression was this soul contract reading work, which, shows you that you do have a divine plan. Your birth name is connected to your soul's mission. And so literally, if you are not on that divine plan, if you are not on mission, your
Yeah.
life is not feeling good. And
Wow.
so, yeah, both perspectives work for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what I love about what I found in my service is combining the
Yeah.
soul contract reading, the very science-based processes, and then
Yes.
also things that speak to the logical mind, right? And
Yes.
then the movement practice, the
Yes.
energy, literally like letting go of the logical mind and
Yeah. Yeah.
drawing in, what you can do energetically with your body and your breath.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's so good. Oh my gosh, girl, it's so much there. I kind of want to back up a little bit, pick up there, and I want to talk about this soul contract because I think in the podcast I remember saying, "Oh, let's do it in Candid Conversations." I don't know if we can or what have you,
Yeah.
but you said something about just comparisons, and we tend, and I really want to touch on that because I feel like particularly as women, we do that so much, right? Because I think and maybe I'm saying this unfairly, men, we love you, right? There's no competition there. But I feel like in women, we tend to do that even more, right? Because beauty, before the inside out movement, right, was not skin deep, or I guess, it was surface, right? And I guess only skin deep. Get my mind straight here. But we have so many comparisons that we deal with and live with on a daily basis. I think that affect us in such a negative way. And our minds often, until we really learn how to think without that box and really, take back our power, our soul power, I like to talk about. Our mind just goes there, right? And we compare everything, and we don't understand that soul's path is not the same as mine. And perhaps it's called to do what what it's doing. We don't know if they're going to eventually hit a roadblock or not. But you know, we're different, we're individuals, and really embracing that fact. So yeah, I love the fact that you
Yeah.
touched on that briefly.
And when just listening to you talk about that, it brings my mind to self-love. And it's,
Hmm.
it can be so cliche, and we all go to, self-love classes, or, pamper yourself and, do self-love. But
Hmm.
truly at the heart of it is this identity, shifting your identity
Hmm.
from this, what Dr. Sue calls your protective personality, your ego, basically, your
Yes. Oh,
body, your looks. You're shifting your
yeah.
identity
Hmm.
from this,
Hmm.
what you look like, your hair, your skin,
Yes.
your clothes, everything,
Yes.
to an identity as your soul, right?
Yes.
Your identity as your higher self, this
Yes.
eternal one that has come
Hmm.
on a mission, that has taken on a form, and this form is the exact form that is perfect for the mission that you are on, you
So
know?
good. Yeah. Yes.
And just really embracing this idea that, this other person that you might be jealous of or that you might admire, they are the way they are because it's perfect for their soul mission, but that's not
Hmm.
what's perfect for your soul mission. So you have to just embrace what's
Yes.
going on with you. And
Girl. Yes.
yeah, just learn how to the movement that I do is a big piece of that, um, getting to that place
Yeah. Yeah.
of really embracing your unique being.
Yeah. Let's talk about all
Yeah.
that. I wanted to hear more about the movement, the soul contract, all that. Yeah.
um, so the I learned the soul contract reading, and that got me kind of onto this spiritual path and this higher perspective that there's more to life than just, our bodies.
Yes.
And then I found shamanism.
Okay.
So from that, my husband actually, he was so excited to see me, climbing out of depression
Yes, yes.
and with this
Sure.
spiritual work. And he said, I have a client in Boulder, Colorado, kind of this, spiritual place with a lot of that going on here. I have
Yeah.
this client that's into all that hippy dippy kind of spiritual stuff. Why don't you have coffee with her? And I think I might have told this story before, so I won't go into it deeply. But anyway, one thing leads to another, and she was a teacher that was teaching core shamanism. And so I joined her program and learned all about the spiritual realm and helping spirits and power animals and how to go into that altered state of consciousness using a drum or a rattle.
Okay.
And I have my drum here. You want to remember this lovely thing? And you
Yes.
just kind of that
Yes.
rhythm gets you into an altered state of consciousness where you can begin to tap into the higher wisdom, the higher realms, and
Yes.
connect with guides and things to bring through higher wisdom and advice for your journey. But that wasn't enough for me. I kept going. I wanted more. And then I found this teacher, Dr. Sue Morter, that talks about energy.
Yes.
And then I found this movement class. And so I just combined it all. And so now the movement that I teach is called Move Through Everything.
Okay.
And it's based on this idea that our suppressed emotions are the things that are ultimately holding us back from all the things that we want. So no matter how much we hypnotize our subconscious mind, no matter how much we put on our affirmations on our mirror or look in the mirror and say, I love you, no matter how much we do that, there's still this energy that we need to get to in our bodies and our systems that we need to embrace and integrate as part of ourselves rather than reject it. So the movement is just that. So the classes are themed, like move through anger, move through fear, move through jealousy.
Yes.
And I put on a playlist, and I start with the heavier emotion. And it starts on a yoga mat or on your bed or on a sofa or whatever. You can close your eyes, and I verbally guide you, but also kind of offer suggestions of how you might want to move your body, what you might want to think about, but ultimately it's your journey. And so we start with the negative emotion. So for example, if it's anger, one of the first songs will be kind of a buildup to think about something that's you're angry about. Think of a story. And then the next song will be a bit more heavy and really I invite you to let go of the story and work with the raw energy beneath the story. Just work with the raw energy of anger because, of course, it's not only attached to that one story. We've had it all our lives, all, our past lives, future lives, ancestors, all of it is just within us. And so we basically like dance it out.
Yeah. I love it.
But there's no routine. There's no expectation. You can have your video on or off. And you just allow your body to move you. So you're really asking your brain to turn off and let your body show you how it wants to move to release this anger, to embrace this anger, and then to alchemize it into the next level of emotion, which is for anger is usually passion or conviction, And then we move into that. And the movement that I invite you to do is very feminine. It's very flowy. Very, snake-like, wave-like motion.
Yes.
And it begins to feel really good. Really, that connection with that feminine energy and your eyes closed. It's hard not to feel good eventually when you're in that space. And so by the end of the class, and the classes are only 30-35 minutes, by the end of the class, you hopefully feel a sense of relief,
Yes.
a sense of just, I did it. I moved through that.
Mm-hmm.
And, maybe, of course, you didn't get rid of all your anger, but another layer of the onion has been peeled back and you're closer to healing that,
Yeah.
100%.
Oh, I love that. I love that. When you first started sharing kind of the process and the flow of it, it reminded me also of a part of my heritage, which is Native American, or the original peoples of the Americas. Um, with the drumming, and kind of
Mm.
ushering in, connecting to the ancestors and the spirit, and it's so powerful because literally it gets to, and I remember when you did this in the podcast, it literally gets to the core of your soul. You feel it. You can't
Mm.
help but feel it internally. And then that
Mm.
just activates, when you just release and you just start moving, with that. I can see how that's so powerful because how many of us, and you folks watching, I want you to drop in comments, how many of us do affirmations? How many of us do all of these things? What were some of the other things, Jesse, you listed out?
Yeah, like the hypnotizing yourself or listening
Yes,
to guided meditations.
yes.
Yeah.
How many of us do that? Right, and we still find or struggle, we don't feel like a total release, we might feel like a temporary relief of some sort, right? And we keep doing those, but then there's still, we still feel heavy, I guess. I can see
Mm-hmm.
where integrating the movement into it could helps you release. It's a release of the
Mm-hmm.
energy, did you say, of or tapping into the energetic piece that with the blocks and all of that, releasing
Right.
of the blocks.
It's the blocks. It's, there's other things, tapping,
Yeah. Yes.
EFT, emotional freedom technique. It's the same concept
Yeah.
of like, you have to work with the negative emotion. You can't sweep it under the rug. You have
Yes.
to honor it. You have to embrace it, and you have to thank it for
Yeah.
being the catalyst for your next level of
Oh,
expansion.
yes. I love that. I encourage people to look in the mirror, and acknowledge, face their fear, in that whole process that I take them through, looking in the mirror, speaking to that fear, right? Acknowledging it,
Mm-hmm.
it's there, but
Mm-hmm.
it's the way to take back your power. Oh, I love that you
Mm-hmm.
said that. You thank it for being that catalyst for you to release it and let it
Right.
go.
And you let
That's so
it and you
good.
let it know that it doesn't need to be like that anymore.
Yeah.
That you've grown and that you've evolved and you can hold this trepidation with
Yes.
more trust than you were able to a year ago.
Yes. So good. I love that. I
Yeah.
love it. Right. So that, like, the contracts, the soul contracts, how does that, because I'm so curious. Do you take a name? I've never
Yeah,
done
so
soul
I
contracts.
would do
Okay.
your name. Yeah, we can set up an appointment after.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so I take your birth name, so the name on your birth certificate, because
Yeah.
the concept is that your soul, when before you're born, you go before a group of guides and you decide the talents and the goals that you want, and you also decide the challenges that you're willing to take on. And
Mm-hmm.
then once you decide these things, you choose a name because the
Oh,
vibrations of the sound of your name work to put those energies into your life.
interesting.
And so when I see your birth name on your birth certificate, I can sort of decode it. I match it to the letters of the Hebrew alphabet and then to
Mm,
numbers. And then it's also said that this works with Indian Vedic systems.
mm,
Um, and then I can decode for you on your your
yeah.
your chart. It's a
Yeah.
star, your karma that you chose. Karma is just a challenge,
Mm-hmm.
and then your talents that you gave yourself, and your
Yeah.
goals. And ultimately, if you work through your soul contract, you'll
Yeah.
reach your soul destiny. And your soul destiny is usually sort of an etheric theme. It's not real on point.
Yeah.
It's not like you will be a business owner, coach, teacher.
Right, right.
It's not like that. It's like, no,
Yeah.
it's like you will bring higher levels of truth and share it from a heart-centered place. It's that sort of a thing. But it's
Yeah.
just enough
Yeah.
to be at peace with. Like my soul destiny
Mm-hmm.
is to be the walking, talking expression of soul with every breath and every step.
Wow. Ooh, girl, I felt that for you. I did. Okay, folks, you guys need to we'll have it in the show notes, but you need to connect with Jessie and you need to do this soul contract. Let's see how that goes for us. And then we can come back in comments
Yeah.
and drop in or talk about it. Circle back. Yeah.
Yeah, it's meant to be just super validating, super
Yeah.
a sense of like, oh, that's why I had that challenge. That's why that relationship fell apart. That's why
Right.
I didn't,
Right.
make the money that I wanted to, or whatever. It's like because I
Right.
was learning to blah blah blah. It's
Yeah.
very it's tangible. It speaks to your logical mind, and
Hmm.
also it's very much from the heart.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a soul, it's a message from your soul, really.
Yeah.
I think about it as like a sticky note, like your
Yeah.
soul left you a little sticky
I love
note.
it.
It's
Yeah,
in your
girl.
name and you
Yeah.
haven't discovered it yet, but guess what? You
Yeah.
can.
Oh no, I love that. I love that visual too. I used to have sticky notes everywhere. Maybe that's why I was so confused.
Right?
Trying to find which sticky note I wrote that on and yeah, whatever. But but no, I love that. I love, what I love. So it's not human design. That's something different, right?
Right. I've done human design too, and that's
Okay.
amazing.
Yeah.
And then there's
Yeah.
astrology, where the stars
Yeah.
are when you're born. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's all very helpful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But this is just in its own thing. It's not even numerology, because there's another, people
Right.
talk about what's your number, right? This
Right.
is
Right.
not
Right.
that either. It's just
Right.
something different.
Yeah.
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 Hmm.
Wow. I tell you, and a lot of people, I think they fear discovering things like this, and they,
Hmm.
like you started off saying at the beginning, folks refer to it as woo. I think you mentioned your husband was saying, like, it's woo,
Right.
but
Uh-huh.
it's interesting because we all have gifts, we all have, soul calls and purposes, and we pick up along our life's path, we pick up these skill sets or what have you. But there are things that lead us to all of these things that do exist in the world, I think, for a reason, and I
Hmm.
think their purpose to help us connect those dots, right?
Right.
No matter what direction we're coming from,
Hmm.
it's like, for me, I have my faith, my beliefs. But when I look into and explore these things, I don't have a fear that anything is going to overtake or usurp or what have you, right? Because we have willpower, we have choice. But
Hmm.
it informs, and it actually, for me, it's been very confirming and affirming, I guess on an earthly plane to
Hmm.
what I know and have come to know in, the spiritual and the divine world and connection too.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
so, yeah, I just love learning this stuff and hearing more about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well, you
when
think
you,
about, and even in the corporate world, we do personality tests,
yeah,
right?
hello,
And
right? Hmm.
so it's really not that much of a stretch,
It's the
you know.
same thing. But
Hmm.
it's the fear, I think. Again, that programming or conditioning to think, oh, if it looks like this or sounds like this, you should be afraid of this. But if it looks like this, which is a part of this construct I created or what have you, or I'm okay with, then it's
Hmm.
safe. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So interesting, interesting. Girl, it's yeah, I love to learn. I'm a lifelong learner, and I feel like we all need to just kind of be in this posture of constantly exploring, discovering, developing
Hmm.
personally, because I
Hmm.
think that only helps with our interpersonal skills, connecting with others, our ability to socialize and understand other people, might help with a lot of conflicts that are going on in the world. Ah,
I think,
mhm,
it really is our path to the most joy and fulfillment, is to have this desire, to find something that lights you up, like,
mhm,
whether it's spirituality, whether it's science, whether it's,
yeah.
art, whatever it is,
Mhm.
to have that sense of like wanting more, like
Yes.
always wanting more, always
Mhm,
wanting to deepen, always wanting
mhm.
to, share. Those are the
Yes.
types of things that bring joy and happiness.
Yeah. So
It's
good.
not the physical stuff. It's not the, it's the passion,
Yeah.
that brings that sense of
Yeah.
aliveness
Yeah.
that I feel like I've I finally figured it out. Like I
Right.
figured out the formula.
Exactly. And the formula is quite simple. It's that, like, for you, your children were your life connection while you were trying to figure it out, and it sounds like
Hmm.
them and your husband helped to kind of pull you back from that abyss of not
Hmm.
knowing or understanding, or and until you had those revelations. And so, yeah, no, I totally get it. I
Yeah.
totally get
And
it.
ultimately, I mean, when you said kids, it's love. I mean, it's
Yes.
again another
Love.
cliche, but
Yeah.
it really is what it comes down to, is like whether it's a love for a person or a
Yes.
love for a project or a mission,
Yeah.
what anchors you here in the
Yeah.
human experience
Yeah.
is that love. That,
Yes.
and it's not, romantic love necessarily, but it's that, grandmother love. It's that,
Yeah.
sort of passion for
Yeah.
something in the tangible
Yeah.
world that you just don't want to leave.
Yeah. Well, I mean, saying about, love makes the world go round. Uh-oh. Are okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
You left and then you came back. I guess
I,
our talk about love was a little too powerful for
girl,
technology.
I'm telling you, yeah. But yeah, no, love, that's the whole saying about love makes the world go round is so true, right? When you fear something, you can't love it. And so I think that's why there's so much of, for whatever, intentions that, dark intentions that people try to instill fear, and then you can't find your way to love, or it's more difficult, rather, I would say. But
Mhm.
yeah, if we just learn how to, one, love ourselves, that's really where fear starts, right? We don't even know ourselves. So of course we're
Mhm.
gonna, we fear that, in fact. And then, if we can't love ourselves, then we can't love other people, and we don't want to explore. We just want to be safe, and we want to just be contained in our existence, because that's the only thing that makes sense. And sadly, we erroneously feel safe in that existence,
Mhm.
and it does more damage than good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's A Course in Miracles that says there's really only two emotions in life, and that's love or fear.
Yes. So
And
powerful.
so if you think about that, when you come upon
Hmm.
dark, heavy emotions
Hmm.
and you ask, where's the fear beneath the anger or beneath the resentment? Like, what is it that
Yes.
you're afraid of? You
Yes.
can pretty quickly get to, the root of it
Right.
all. Not to say that you don't, want to work with the anger and the resentment and the guilt and all of
Yeah.
that, but in the end, it's just not, where are you not loving? Where can you love
Yeah.
more?
I
Yeah.
love that. Just asking that simple question. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Where do you not feel love? Or what? Yeah. What is the fear? How did you
Mm-hmm.
just state that? That was brilliant, actually. I like how you just stated that. I don't know if
Where
you
are
remember.
you? Yeah, where are you not loving?
Yeah.
Like,
But
where are you not loving? How can
before
you love
that,
more? And
I think,
beneath all the negative emotion,
yeah, what's
look
beneath
for
the
the
fear?
fear.
Yes.
Well,
Okay. There it
so if
is.
you're resenting, like I
Hmm.
think about it, if I'm resenting my husband, for
Yeah.
example, for
Hmm.
not making enough money,
Hmm.
right? Well, beneath that is my fear of safety and security,
Yes.
So can I,
Hmm.
soften the resentment and find the fear and then work with the fear and then get back to love? How do you get back to
Yeah.
love as quickly as possible?
Right.
That's the task, I guess, to
Yes. No.
live in that more, joyful. I think you started this conversation about this sort of higher presence of
Yes.
self,
Hmm.
of a sort of inner joy. I think you spoke about.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Of we didn't go deep there, but I feel like it's kind of coming back around of this
Yeah.
idea that when we are at peace with
Hmm.
our negative emotion and our
Mm-hmm.
dissatisfaction,
Mm-hmm.
underlying that, we can have a sense of joy, like a sense of playfulness almost about,
Yes.
look at this life experience, look at this
Totally.
human experience. What are we doing? Like, what's, oh my gosh, like, what's going on? Like,
Right.
in a sort of joking way, like yesterday, my son came home. He just got his driver's license.
Uh-oh.
And he came home and my husband were like, what is that smell? And we had all these, fears that he had, picked up something or this and that. And it turned out he had spilled gas. He had filled his car with gas
Oh, wow.
and he had
Yes.
spilled gasoline on his pants.
Uh-huh. Oh gosh.
And we just had this moment
Mm-hmm.
of laughter,
Mm-hmm.
of, all the things that you worry about
Yes.
in life, and you jump to conclusions, or you think, you know did we really just create this being, this child that is now, like bringing us so much fear about, his safety and all of this,
Right.
and then and then and then you just have to laugh because
Yeah.
it's just simple,
Yeah. Yeah, I just had a thought a minute ago, and I'm trying to, because I was laughing about it and then I briefly forgot it. But I think, also understanding what's in our control, there it is, what's in our control and what's not in our control. And it
Mhm.
reminds me about the Serenity Prayer. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Right.
But what we can control, being wise about it, allowing ourselves to laugh about even what's out of our control, or the momentary fear of something,
Mhm.
instead of, like you were talking earlier about, internalizing it, which then sets up negative emotions that create those blocks and then start to affect our life. And we just, then there goes the spiral, right? Just spinning out of control, and we don't
Mhm.
understand why.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
it's funny. I know some people get offended when they're like, "Oh, you're too serious," or "You take life too serious," when when someone may say that to them. And I think we just have to have wisdom about what to be serious about and what not to be serious about.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. That just popped in my head. I don't know if it.
Well, as you were talking, I was thinking about the toric field.
Oh,
Do you know about the toric field, that we all kind of like the energetic
please.
structure of all
Yeah, yeah,
living things?
yeah. Please talk
Um,
about it, because the someone in the audience may not. Uh-huh.
yeah, well, this idea, and it's in, spiritual text, and you can, just Google toric field and you'll see images all over. But
Yeah.
it's a depiction of the energy that we are,
Yeah.
and the energy comes through your crown and your
Mm-hmm.
body, and then down into the earth, and then it pops back up like on a trampoline, and then it comes up,
Yes.
and then it sort of waterfall, like a whale spouts out a blowhole.
Yeah.
Sort of goes all around you.
Yeah.
And so when you're walking around, and it should be a very symmetrical, a very perfect
Mm-hmm.
toric field, right? It's sort of like a donut shape.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when you have these blocks and this energy in your body is
Mm-hmm.
having to go around these blocks, then
Yes.
your toric field comes out all wonky.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so you're walking through life with this wonky energy field. And so that creates conflict in your life, that
Yes.
or allows your perception of things is
Mm-hmm.
not as clear, and is more judgmental, and is more
Yes.
distorted. It's distortion. It causes a distortion in your
Mm-hmm.
field, therefore your
Right.
life.
Right.
So again, like getting back to the energy of it all,
Mm-hmm.
coming back to that,
Yeah. No,
dealing with
that's
those. Yeah.
no, that's so powerful. Like, and when I think also about that, I don't think we process enough, because we get so consumed and so focused on the flesh and bone part, right, of life,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
and the materialistic things. And those things keep us from understanding, I think, and addressing the very, root cause of our issues, or why we're here. And we don't process the fact that, we literally radiate, we're a part of the universe, right? We are a part of creation. The elements that are in life in the world are us, right? And we have this energy force that does travel through us and affects us and radiates out, right? The magnetic field of, what is it, the heart, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not an expert on that part of stuff, but that radiates out, right? That can affect people around us literally up to a certain
Mm-hmm.
distance. When you think about that, people laugh at the tree huggers, but there's something real happening there.
Yeah.
There's a magnetic exchange, there's energy force, there's life force, right? And when we talk about like the tree of life, I mean, there's a reason, and
Mm-hmm.
and we don't understand our very nature or essence of what is a part of and makes up the soul.
Right.
And when you start tapping into that and you understand, I mean, there's your faith right there starting, right? This is bigger than flesh and bone. It's bigger than us, right? There's divinity here. There's a source, there's a creator, so yeah. Do you want to
I'm
jump?
laughing, I'm smiling because
Yeah.
you're leading me right into my next passion project, which I
Yes.
wasn't going to talk about today because it's not quite ready, but I will because you led me right there. And I was just listening to the song Bigger by Beyonce. It's in The
Yeah.
Lion King, that song.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you know that song? We have to
Hmm.
look it up, or maybe we'll put
Okay.
it in the show notes. But it's just this song of like, you are a part of something way bigger, bigger than you,
Yes.
bigger than me,
Yes.
bigger than the picture they painted us to see, or something like that.
Yes. Yeah.
Legacy. It's this beautiful,
Legacy. Yes.
these beautiful lyrics. But I
Uh-huh.
got this idea to create a T-shirt
Uh-huh.
that says "Divinely Lit"
Oh,
on
I
it.
love it. I love it.
And yeah, I
Yeah.
just got this idea like 3 months ago. And since I got
Yeah.
the idea, I've
Uh-huh.
created a Shopify store. And it's going to be sort of like a movement, to
Uh-huh.
help just spread this message that we all have a spark of the divine within us. That is our
Yes.
unifying force. Like,
Yes.
of all the differences we might see in each other, there's this one thing that you cannot
Yes.
deny, that we are all enlivened by some
Yes.
creative power that is the same in all of us. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And that goes way, way beyond flesh and blood or color or whatever
Mhm.
other sticking points that, folks have that have been created
Mhm.
by, programmed fears. I love it. Oh, girl, that's hot. I love
Yeah.
it. If you need somebody to bounce that off with, brainstorm, I'm your girl. So
Yeah, I'll be reaching out. I'll be reaching out.
no, I love that. I love that. Jesse, you girl, this conversation, I mean, you're just life. I love talking to you and just like your realness, your truth that you share, that you've embraced and you no longer fear, but literally that drives and powers you, and that keeps that joy present in your life. How do you, or what would you say to others who are seeking that? What advice would you give? Besides my advice of y'all need to get with Jesse.
Right. Yeah. I would just say pick one thing, like pick something, whether
Yeah.
it's a soul contract reading or a movement class or a shamanic healing, just or pick up a book, whatever
Yeah.
inspires you. But ask the universe to inspire you to do something different, to try something new,
I like it.
and see what that is, and then do it. And
Yeah.
then that will lead to your next breadcrumb.
Ooh, I love
Just to
it.
be open, you have to ask for the guidance and it will come. If
Yeah.
something lit you up in our conversation, go for it, do it, follow up,
Yeah.
right? If, a book falls off the shelf at the bookstore, that's your book, it's
Right.
that sort of thing. But you
Totally.
have to be,
Yeah.
ask the universe, set the intention.
Yes.
I have a reminder on my calendar. Set your intention,
Set intention.
take inspired action,
Mm.
and trust the universe to handle the details.
Yes. Oh, I love that. Somebody drop that in comments. Y'all need to, so people can get that and remember it. So I love that. And then folks who are going to do this, drop also in comments that you're going to do this. You're going to, set up, think about what lights you up. And I really feel that's your soul speaking to you, trying to speak, trying to get you to
Mhm.
listen, and calling you forward to your soul purpose and understanding and what have you, to show you the way. And we just have to quiet the noise, right? And it's such a powerful thing when we do, right? It's like life goes around like, these street trucks out here who are, God bless folks who are picking up trash for us and all of that, but hopefully you guys can't hear that. But it's just quieting that noise of life that keeps you from focusing in and hearing, right? Hearing your soul speak to you. Yeah. No, so good, Jessie. So good. Oh, I love it. I love it. Anything else in your soul to talk about that you're feeling like we need to bring out in these last few minutes? I think we have last 10 minutes or so.
Oh, I feel inspired just to say to everyone who's listening that you are so powerful. You have so much potential to go after whatever it is that you want to go after.
Mhm.
Just to not give up, just to keep going, and
Mhm.
really find that connection,
Yeah.
and don't give up until you do, because it's once you find that sense of purpose, that sense of
Mhm.
passion of what you really want to go after, everything else softens.
Mhm. Oh, I love it. Oh,
Mhm.
girl, so good. Girl, that was a diamond look. Diamond nuggets everywhere. That is so good. And just folks
Mhm.
not being afraid to reach out, face the fear. There's no
Mhm.
judge it, there's no condemnation. The world may, right? But once you start understanding that we are not worldly beings, right? We're here, we're existing in the flesh or what have you, but there's so much more to you, and it's just waiting for you to discover it. Is so powerful, and then
Mhm.
you start connecting those dots. I know I did. It's like, why did I have to take so many different paths? Why did life keep happening to me? Why did I have to go through all these different experiences? Why this, why that? And yeah, it's like literally that soul power within me has been unleashed, to
Mhm.
just live, be, operate with that truth, transparency, and spreading love. So
Yeah.
no, I love it. Mhm.
Well, on that note, there's a heart light meditation that I could lead
Ooh,
based on that. It will just take a few minutes. Do you have a few
yes,
more minutes? Okay.
absolutely. Yes, we do.
So this is kind of a combination of a couple of teachers of mine.
Okay.
And it's just a simple, I call it the heart light meditation. So we're
Okay.
going to get into that loving space
Okay.
and just show you how simple it is
Okay.
to go there. Okay. So
Mhm.
just invite you to close your eyes if you're
Okay.
not driving.
Yep. I was about to say, do I need to
And
close
take a
them?
nice, yeah, just take a nice deep breath and imagine a beautiful white light coming in through your crown from the heavens, and inhaling that light into your throat and into your heart and into your belly. And then exhaling that light into the earth, down your legs and your calves and your feet. And then imagining beautiful earth nurturing energy, also beautiful light coming up through your feet, thighs, into your belly, letting your belly expand. And then exhaling that light up through your heart and your throat and your crown and out the top of your head, letting it waterfall all around you. And then focusing on your heart space now. Imagining this beautiful light that is extending out, the power of 1,000 suns. And think of something that you dearly love. Could be a person, a pet, a beautiful scene in nature. But just think for a moment of something that you dearly love. And as you have that object of affection, I invite you to just notice how your body feels, sensing this love, and notice that this object is not bringing love to you, but rather exposing the love that is already within you, enlivening the love that you are. And as this becomes your energy, I invite you to take a nice inhale into your belly. And on the exhale, allow this loving energy to expand into a beautiful bubble of light, pink, sparkling light all around you. And then inhaling into your belly, letting it rise into your heart space. And on the next exhale, letting that bubble of light expand even further into the entire room. And then inhaling from that bubble into your core, letting it rise into your heart space. Exhaling, allowing that bubble to expand into your entire community. And then inhaling from that bubble into your core, letting it rise into your heart space. And exhaling, allowing that heart energy to expand onto the entire planet. And then just feeling yourself connected, your heart light encompassing the entire earth, overlapping with other heart lights. And just feeling that divine connection that is you. Breathing deeply, reveling in this loving energy. And on your next inhale, bringing that all back, sending gratitude, maybe placing a hand on your heart. Thanking yourself for taking this time to just drop in and exude your loving energy onto the earth. And wiggling your fingers and your toes, coming back to this time and this space. Well done.
I love that. Thank you, Jessie. Look, what
You're
I was feeling, look, if that could heal the world. Oh, wow. Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much. Audience, did you enjoy that? If you drop that in comments, if you loved it, what did you feel? What did you see? Maybe what you experienced? Just use our comment section as practicing your vulnerability, right? To share, to connect. And within that, you are guaranteed to start finding your strength. Oh, Jessie. Girl, thank you for joining me again. I tell you, you're just such a joy and light.
Thank
Pun
you.
intended.
Thank you for
uh,
having me. Thank you for the platform. It's really just a beautiful space you've created.
oh, oh, bless you. And that is affirming to me because, I've just followed what I felt I was designed to do and be, even before I knew and understood fully. So thank you for just that affirming shout out and confirming that I am doing what I'm supposed to be doing and where I need to be.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Folks, I want you to reach out to Jessie. We'll have all of her information in the notes to this show. Make sure you leave your thoughts, your feelings, your ahas, your perspective shifts, because I know you guys had some, because this was fire and so powerful. Drop all of that into our comments. Make sure you like this episode, share this episode, because more people need to see and be a part of this conversation. And subscribe to our channel right here on YouTube at Defining Paths Online and set those notifications. Just click that bell and you'll be able to stay plugged into our episodes. I just want to leave you faithful with this truth. The truth will set you free. The truth of who you are, what you are called to do, why you're here. And your call to action. Well, Jessie gave you a whole bunch of call to actions. So you have all of those, but I'm going to drop some more in here for you. I want you to learn how to think without that box, right? Unplug from the matrix, from whatever programming, conditioning, sociocultural, even religious, right? Because religion is a man-made tool, right? So think about that. That's a whole nother conversation. So I'm sure I'll get some comments about that. But I welcome them. So that's holding you back and snuffing out your soul, right? Religion has nothing to do with your faith, right? With the truth, with God, with the divine, with a higher power source, right? So don't get hung up on that. Stick with me. I just felt like I felt led to say that. Conditioning had me so mindless, right? And I was in this spiral. I've been, a faithful person since I was 3 years old, right? Of my own choosing, my own volition, right? But that didn't keep me, right, from spiraling, right? With feeling no hope in truly defining my own path, right? Because I was following a conditioned path. I was following a programmed path. I did not get to know who I was, right, for myself until rather late in life, right? I didn't truly find that connection that gives me the soul power that I operate in, right? So when you're able to heal, to one, stand in your truth, heal, pivot, take off those masks, right? So that you can live your truth, have a candid conversation with yourself, right? So that you can find and understand your soul purpose, why you're here, right? And finally choose you. Then you can pursue that soul purpose. Then you can find that joy, unspeakable joy that Jessie and I have been having a conversation about, right? That can pull you back from those places where you feel you are residing in darkness, right? Where you have no energy, where you're just having these constant battles and blockages and challenges, right? For me, it was my faith. My faith was my foundation and conscious intuition of my soul through spirit as my guide. I was able to be that captain of my fate and master of my soul. You can as well. Just as myself, as Jessie, you know, there's no respecter of person. You're able to pivot, heal, rebuild, pursue your humble, transformative greatness. So I invite you to do that. What is the candid conversation trying to erupt in your soul right now? Is it time to think without the box, pivot, define your own path, right? We're here, Jessie is here to help you do just that. We're here to power your soul pivot, to help you build your success on a firm foundation, mind, body, soul, and business. So think about it. Be honest, have an honest conversation. Reach out to Jessie. Again, Jessie, thank you so much for being here, Jessie Rothman-Church, folks. And once again, I'm DocV, the Pivot Maestro and your corner woman. Please like, subscribe, share, and set these notifications to stay plugged in. And remember to always be true to you, folks. Always be true to you so you can define your path. And we'll see you on our next episode. Until then, ciao.